into the Bucknuts Morning 5. I am editor Dave Biddle, joined by the People's Champ, Matt Baxendale. And Bax, the Buckeyes get their third commitment in their 2015 class yesterday with Ben Edwards, safety from Jacksonville, Florida, hard hitter. Right now only ranked as the number 20 safety in the country, according to the 24/7 Sports Composite. What do you want to bet that ranking is going to rise precipitously, Bax?
I'm going to bet that ranking goes significantly up. I'll certainly put money on that. If you watch this kid's film, my goodness, can he hit? He comes like a wall of bricks into people. Very much a Mike Doss kind of player on film, and it's exciting to have him in the class, and it's even more exciting when you think he's teammates with Kevin Tolliver and with Jeffrey Holland, both of whom are high 4-star or 5-star players at his high school. So, yeah, this is a great get early in the class for the Buckeyes.
A mere 51 weeks from signing day. 51 weeks from today is signing day 2015. So the countdown has begun, and the Buckeyes have 3 commitments in their 2015 class. And, yeah, no doubt, I think we're going to see that 3-star turn into a 4-star before long. I know Rivals has him ranked as the number 5 safety in the country. So when the other services move him up, I'm sure he'll be a 4-star. Switching gears, Ohio State basketball. What can only be described as a very disappointing 70-60 loss at home to Michigan last night. Back, Buckeyes were 3.5-point favorites. They were up by 10 at a couple different points in the game. The crowd was into it, at least the students were. Very disappointing. They just completely collapsed down the stretch. They're not getting enough help from their bench. Mark Loving has completely hit the freshman wall. I hate to say this, but they got the wrong player out of Toledo. I would trade Mark Loving in a heartbeat for Nigel Hayes. Now maybe I'll eat those words down the road. But this basketball team is so frustrating. Just when you think that they turn the corner, they lay an egg at home against Michigan last night, Bax.
Yeah, they went back to being the team that we didn't want them to be, which is a team that lost 5 straight games, all but one of which were the classic lead the game until 5 minutes left and then completely faceplant because you can't make a clutch shot. That's the bottom line. Look, against Wisconsin and Iowa, we had some guys step up and actually make shots. Remember, Aaron Kraft had almost 20 points at Iowa. Shannon Scott started scoring points in those games. What did we get yesterday? 3 of 20 from 3. Kraft airballing a 3-point late in the game with nobody on him. I mean, outside of Quentin Ross, the offensive end of the ball was simply not there, especially in the second half, which was frustrating to say the least to see them play the way that they did. But the bottom line is, look at what Michigan brought to the table. And I hate to say this because, they're a bunch of bums, but over the last season, they've managed to have 3, 4, 5 guys on the court who can shoot. We're lucky if we have won at any point in time. We lost because we should have lost. There's no other way to describe it at this point. This team got back into being the bad old team that blows it down the stretch because nobody can score. And right now, we're a 7 seed in the NCAA tournament. We'll win another game or 2 here and there, I'm sure. We'll get in. But does anybody have any faith in this team making anything remotely resembling a run? I sure don't.
I sure don't. This Sweet 16 streak's going to end. They have the longest Sweet 16 streak in the country, 4 straight years. It's not going to be 5. If they get there, it'll be amazing. Switching gears, Bill Kurlick's wildly popular In the Dean's Office is up on the site now. Subscribers can ask Bill any question. He'll answer it. In fact, if you have a question for any of our staff members, you can post it to the Front Row message board, and we will answer it. But if you are a recruiting fan, Bill's got you covered. One of the interesting questions he's answering today in the Dean's Office is about Mike Mitchell. Somebody asked him, hey, there's been some information out there that Mitchell redshirted last year because of an injury. Well, Bill cleared that up. Mike Mitchell was not injured last year. That he did not redshirt because of an injury. So that's one of the many things Bill's talking about. So get in the Dean's Office, ask Bill a question. If you're not a subscriber, try our 7-day free trial. And one more thing, I want to talk about the right tackle position. Evan Lyle. We're going to have a very interesting item on him in the boarding house today, so you're going to want to check that out. Evan Lyle is a guy that's really coming on, and we're going to have some interesting items on him. Bax, are you concerned about the O-line as we look ahead to 2014?
No, I'm not. We have Ed Warner coaching this line. Do people forget what a disaster the offensive line was when he took over? Urban Meyer came in and said the offensive line was the weakest talent position we had on the entire team. Ed Warner turned him into one of the best offensive lines in the country 2 years running. You give an NFL offensive tackle in Taylor Decker that's going to be plug and play at left tackle. Great. Easy. Boom. Good to go. We're going to have the guys at guards and center. Elfline coming in and playing extremely well at the end of last year is a very good sign. Got a lot of young talent inside. I'm not really worried about the guards. Every year Ed Warner's been at OSU, we've had a great offensive line. And I cannot overlook the transformation we saw from an O-line where when Ed Warner took over, Marcus Hall was an afterthought. Jack Newhart was a guard. I mean, think about the things that have changed since then. Reed Fragel was a tight end. And those guys turned into really good offensive linemen. So, yeah, I'm not as nearly worried as anybody else next year because based upon the history and recent success we've seen under Ed Warner.
Great stuff from the People's Champ, Matt Baxendale, and thank you for joining us here on the Bucknuts Morning 5.